Today we're going to learn the Romeo and Juliet vocabulary words for Acts 2 and Act 3. So Act 2 and Act 3 vocab words. First, make sure that you have this sheet in front of you. So if you have Mrs. Martin for first period today, make sure you get that sheet before you begin. If you have any questions, you can email me. I am here. I'm in my room. I'm just administering the ACT test for juniors. All right, so our first words today are conjure and oxymoron. So conjure is a verb. It's something that you do. So it can mean to bring to mind, like I want to conjure happy thoughts, or to bring into existence, like the magician conjured coins from behind the child's ear. Okay, so that's an action. It's a verb. Next is the word oxymoron. So an oxymoron is a thing. It's a noun. And it means it's a figure of speech that uses contradictory or opposite ideas. So look at this picture over here. An oxymoron would be the term jumbo shrimp, because jumbo means large and shrimp can mean teeny tiny. So jumbo shrimp is an oxymoron. In Act 1, Romeo had some oxymorons that we read. When he was sad because Rosalind wouldn't love him and he was acting real depressed and talking nonsense, he would say, "Oh, loving hate, oh, heavy lightness, feather of lead, bright smoke, cold fire, sick health." So feather of lead would be an oxymoron, or sick health, cold fire. Those are oxymorons. They have opposite or contradictory ideas. All right, our next word is invocation. It's an easy one. It's a thing, and it means prayer. The next word is perjury. This is a noun, and this is a term you probably hear if you ever have watched like a lawyer show or maybe like a movie about lawyers. So perjury is false testimony. What that means is when someone witnesses something and then they go on stand in a trial and they lie. So for example, in To Kill a Mockingbird, Bob Ewell committed perjury. He gave a false testimony. So did Mayella Ewell. Mayella committed perjury. So here's a comic that you can see. It says at the bottom, "Will Your Honor please remind the defendant of the penalty for perjury?" So it's humorous because you know that when Pinocchio lies, his nose grows, so we know he's committing perjury on the stand. Our next word is the word procure, and that's a verb. And it just means to obtain or to get. So I went to the store and I procured some groceries for this week. Or this person up here in the picture, they procured a lot of cash. All right, next is variable. So you might be thinking of a variable in math, but here it's an adjective. So you would describe someone or something that's changeable or changes. So you could say the weather is so variable. It's always changing. Next is the word wanton. So wanton is an adjective that you would use to describe a person, like reckless, foolish, or it could be a term for a spoiled child. So she threw a tantrum in the middle of Walmart and she was displaying wanton behavior. Next is the word banishment. Banishment is another word for exile. It's a noun. So if you are given banishment, or if you are banished, which is the verb, you're forced to leave. So in the Bible, there's this famous story of Adam and Eve, and they are banished from the Garden of Eden after Eve eats the apple that she is forbidden to eat. Our next word is calamity, and calamity means disaster. So you can see here that after the bridge collapsed or after there was an earthquake, there was a huge calamity. All right, there was actually in the old Wild Wild West, there was this woman who had the nickname Calamity Jane because she caused trouble wherever she went. She killed a lot of people. All right, the next word is commend, and that just means praise or to praise. So I might say, "I commend you on a job well done." Or here in the newspaper article, Eric Rachley receives a commendation award from Minnesota Historical Society. So a commendation is an award, but if you commend someone, you praise them. Dexterity is a noun, and it means skill in performing tasks. So you can see this lady obviously has a lot of dexterity with a bow and arrow. She can even shoot it with her feet. So dexterity. The next word is the word prevail, and that's a verb, and it means triumph or win. Okay, so the soccer team prevailed over the other soccer team. Or you could say love prevails in the end. It always triumphs. And then reconcile is our next word. And reconcile is a verb. Again, it's something you do. It's an action. Remember, verbs are usually actions. So it means to finish an argument, restore a friendship, or to settle something. So these two men hated each other, but then they reconciled. All right, and then vile. Vile just means wicked or disgusting. So usually you might say, oh, that garbage smells so vile. Or you could talk about a behavior. Someone has a wicked behavior, like the Wicked Witch of the West is vile in her attempt to kill people. All right, that's our last word. So remember, when you are filling out your synonyms, you might want to go to thesaurus.com to find synonyms. And then to find a sentence, I want you to try and come up with your own. But if you're struggling to think of how to use a word in a sentence, you can go to wordsinasentence.com, and that's a great resource.